If I say, and don't take it lightly, don't take it in some casual way or funny way that I'm speaking, I can say that there are ways that you can cure your depression in just 21 minutes forever. Now you will say, what the fuck I'm speaking? Yes, I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking the real thing. But for that, you will have to understand a little bit of the things. Unfortunately, what happens is 99.9999% of the people don't even know that there is something called energy body into the human system. So that 21 minutes of practice is actually the thing that you will have to learn. If you learn that 21-minute practice and you do it within 20 minutes, on first day you will have a blast in your brain. Depression is one of the biggest challenges today so many people across the planet have been facing, and the objective of this video is to have the real scientific and logical solutions about how to overcome depression. I want you to understand that to overcome your depression, there are three kinds of solutions available that you can try. One solution that you can try at the level of your body, one solution that you can try at the level of your mind, and one solution that you can try at the level of your energy body. But I'll talk about this energy body at the end of this video, because this is something which will just blow away your mind. But at the same time, the first thing that I'll speak about it is psychological solutions and the physical solutions. I would not speak much about the psychological solutions because a lot of people in this world will give you a lot of psychological advices, like you should think positive, you should have willpower, you should have dedication, you should have hope, you should believe in God, and you do this and you do that and things will get fine. I don't want to do bloody all these things because I know practically these fucking things don't work. And I'm sure a lot of psychological advices you would have got in your life, but I know even if you would have tried to implement, these things really don't work much. So the point here is that before we go further and try to understand that what you can do with your body, it is very important for you to understand that so many people have given so many exotic and different names to this called depression. People have their own complex definitions, but I want you to understand that depression is not a very big thing. It is a very small thing. Just to give a one-line definition means what? Depression means the chemistry of your body and the chemistry of your brain has been disturbed, and that is why you are experiencing this is called as depression. I want you to understand that any human experience that happens within yourself, either it is depression or it is a stress or it is anxiety or it is fear or even it is happiness or even it is love or it is compassion or it is joy, all these different experiences that happen within you is actually a certain kind of chemistry, nothing big thing. So it is very important for you to understand that if you are experiencing depression in your life, though it is unfortunate, but the simple thing is that something bad happened in your life in external situations, in reaction of which the chemistry of your body has been destroyed. And the incident would have been anything. Maybe you lost somebody, your dear ones, or maybe you had a breakup, or maybe you had some big financial loss or something. Because of anything, you are experiencing depression because your chemistry of your brain and the body has been disturbed in such a way that you are not able to fix it up. So generally what people think is one way to get over to this depression is to fix the external situations, which is impractical and which is not even possible. That maybe the person who has been dead, it's not possible to make him alive now, and maybe the financial losses that you have made in your life, maybe it's very hard to overcome, or maybe the kind of breakup that you have had in your life, it's not maybe possible to patch up. So point here is that whatever the situation happened in your life, fundamentally it is your chemistry which has been disturbed. So if you cannot change the external situations, If you cannot change your mind and your thought process, you can change so many things with your physical stuff. And if you change so many things with your physical stuff, I 100% guarantee you, I can give you in writing that if you do all these things and small things, very practical things, you will definitely have a big relief and cure for the depression. So the first thing that you can do with your physicality is, so many people also would have given you this advice, and this is very simple, I'll not deliberate much on it, that you must take care of the food and the intake that you give to your body, the kind of things that you have been consuming in your life. Why am I saying this? Because the kind of food that you eat and the kind of digestion happens with your system determines the kind of toxicity which is happening in your body. If your digestion is not proper, if your alimentary canal is not being cleaned properly, then so much of toxicity and bacterial activity will happen within your system. And if such kind of things happen, then already your chemistry is disturbed and it will even disturb further. So if you want to have control over your depression, it is very important that whatever the kind of food that you consume, whatever the kind of drinks that you consume, you should be very conscious of. It's better that you add some raw form of the food in your diet. It can be some kind of fruit, it can be some kind of nuts, it can be some kind of vegetables, or it can be some kind of sprout. At the same time, I would advise you that if you can avoid all kinds of non-vegetarian foods, if you can avoid alcohol, if you can avoid all these kind of things, it will be better, because it will not increase toxicity in your system, which will lead to the higher bacterial activity and which will disturb the chemistry of your body. So this is one thing which is very simple. There are so many people who can tell you so many different kind of diets to get over this. I am not, I would say, expert in this kind of thing, but I know the fundamental of this. That is why I told you. The second thing and the most important thing I want you to remember, that if you are going through depression, it is very important for you never ever skip a single day for taking bath. I know you would not be able to understand the depth of what I'm speaking, because depression, what it has to do with taking bath, I want you to understand that this entire human body is actually made up of 5 different elements, and the most dominant element in the human body is water, which is 72%. So why am I saying this? That when you actually take bath, it is not just the dust and the sweat which is getting clean out of your body. Actually, the entire cleaning of your water element happens within your system. And if your water elements behaves well within your body, there are high chances that the chemistry of your body will easily get fixed by itself. I want you to practically observe in your life. If you don't believe my words, you can practically experiment with yourself, that 2 to 3 days you just don't take bath and observe your system. Your depression level will rise. At the same time, if you take bath regularly for 2-3 days at 2 times, once in the morning and at the time of sleeping you can also take bath, you will see there will be a big change in your life. And it is not just about you who's having some kind of depression or stress or anxiety. Even the normal person, if he goes through some kind of problem or stress or some kind of tension, just one shower and things change. So that is why I am deliberating too much on it, that you should never ever skip bathing. The second and another very important point for you, that if you want to overcome depression, is try to increase the exposure of sun as much as possible in your life. Why am I saying? Because you must understand that any life which happens on this planet is actually solar powered. Why am I saying this to you? That if sun disappears today from this universe, within next 18 hours the entire life on the planet will just cease and finished. That is the power of the sun. That is the influence of the solar power on the human system. So why am I saying that you should expose yourself to sun as much as possible, at least in the morning and the evening? What am I saying? That once you take the shower in the morning, just go and sit in the sun, because you will get exposed. You can practically observe in your life also. For 3 days you don't go into the sun and observe your system. You will see the depression level will rise. At the same time, 3 days continuously in morning and evening, 3 hours, 4 hours, 2 hours, for however long you can sit according to the climate which is there in your place, you will see a big dramatic reduce in your depression state. See, why am I telling you all these things? You may be thinking that this is not some kind of cure, but I want you to understand this kind of small reliefs which come from multiple things. Then what is cure? Cure is actually small reliefs put together becomes cure. So now comes the third point again, which is very important, is to get in touch with earth. Why am I saying this? Because you must understand that the second biggest element which is there into the human system is actually earth. So I understand that you're going through the depression, but whenever you get opportunity, either in morning or in evening, you must go and get in touch with the earth as much as possible. And the fourth most important point is that you should get exposed to open space as much as possible. You can practically observe in your life also. Just close yourself within a room for 3 days, your depression level will rise. At the same time, for 3 days you experiment with yourself. Just go sit in a garden where you can see the entire sky. If you get so much of space, suddenly your space elements becomes active, and space element is extremely crucial to cure depression. So these are the 4 things now that we have spoken in terms of physicality, that you must take care about the diet and the food and all these things that you have been taking care of. At the same time, never skip bathing. I want you to be in touch with the ground. At the same time, increase your sun exposure, and you should be in open space as much as possible. At the same time, which I would not say is easy, because since you're going through a very bad time, you have become so much of lazy or something. But if it is possible for you, keep your body active. Maybe you should go to the gym, you should do some kind of yoga, or you should do some kind of exercise, or maybe you can do some kind of running. Whatever the damn thing fits to you, you can do that. And if you don't feel, fine, that's your choice. But maintain the aspects that I've told you. Psychologically, whatever you can do, for which so many things people will tell you. I don't want to tell you, because psychologically, when somebody goes through a very bad time, it's easy to give advice to anybody. It's easy to give this kind of gyan and that kind of gyan, but gyans really don't work in many times. Yes, those kind of gyan sometimes work, but for that kind of gyan, maybe you can watch so many other videos where you will get that kind of gyan. But now comes the most important aspect of this video. If I say, and don't take it lightly, don't take it in some casual way or funny way that I'm speaking, I can say that there are ways that you can cure your depression in just 21 minutes forever. Now you will say, what the fuck I'm speaking? Yes, I'm speaking the truth. I'm speaking the real thing. But for that, you will have to understand a little bit of the things. I have spoken about something which is psychological. I have spoken about something which is physical, or diet or exercise or this or that. But there is something called energy body into the human system. What is this energy body? I want you to understand. Let's say we have this physical body, then we have this psychological body. Like this mobile in which I am recording this video, it has a hardware, it has a software. But in this mobile, there is something called electricity or power. Similarly, in human system, there is an energy body which is called the electricity of the body. Unfortunately, what happens is 99.9999% of the people don't even know that there is something called energy body into the human system. What am I trying to say you? That if you know how to work upon your energy body, if you know how to exploit your energy body, if you know how to do certain things with your energy body, depression, even if you want to get depressive, you will never be able to get. Because I want you to understand the definition of depression in energy body science. In energy body science, depression simply means the electricity within your body, the energy body which you have, is actually not exuberant enough. If this energy becomes exuberant, you cannot become depressive. But the point here is now that how to actually exploit this energy body, because this is very scientific and a subtle process. It's not like this that I can tell you over the phone that you do this with your body, you do something with your breath, and then your energy body will explode and then your depression will go just like that. All these things don't work. To exploit your energy body, there is a certain process, there is an entire science. Somebody has to teach you the method. For me, it's like this. There is something called Isha Foundation, in which there is a course called Inner Engineering. In that Inner Engineering, I was taught a practice called Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya. That Shambhavi Mahamudra Kriya is the practice of 21 minutes that I do every day in the morning. So that 21 minutes of practice is actually the thing that you will have to learn. If you learn that 21-minute practice and you do it within 20 minutes, on first day you will have a blast in your brain, and that blast will take you to the state that you can never imagine of. That is why I am saying that if you know how to exploit your pranic body, then depression is not even an issue for you. So one of the practices that I have learned in my life, there is one more practice that a lot of people have learned in India, and that is taught by Sri Ravi Shankar, and that course's name is called Art of Living, in which they teach a practice called Sudarshan Kriya. I have not learned that practice, but I have taken the feedback, I have taken the review of the people. That practice is also the similar kind of practice which helps you to exploit your energy body, to change the very chemistry of your brain. And if you know how to control the chemistry of your brain, then you can set whichever way you want. So the objective of this video was just this, that I somehow wanted you to have clarity on yourself, that there are three kinds of solutions when it comes to the depression. Psychological, you can do whichever the things that you want to do in your life, because there are so many things. I'm not speaking much of the psychological because I know psychological is very unreliable stuff. Unreliable means if I tell you think positive, maybe for 1 hour you will think positive, tomorrow again you will think something which already happened in your life. So psychological is very unreliable stuff. But when it comes to the physicality, either it comes to your food or it comes to your elemental balancing, if you do all these things, they are very reliable and they produce the result from the day one. And if you know how to produce the energy body in such a way, then there is no issue at all. So whichever the practice that you want to learn, you can explore a little bit in your life, or if you want to know in deep, then you can write a message to me, maybe I'll reply you more. But the solution and the conclusion is only this, that if you know the scientific and technical and logical way to overcome depression, then depression is just like this. But if you just use your mind to get over the things, then you will just get trapped and you will get into the mess. So here I am concluding this video, and I wish you so much good luck and all the best, and I want you to get out of this fucking mess that you have got into. And thank you so much for watching the video.